fabulous firsties. Welcome back for the next section of Nate the Great Saves the King of Sweden. Today, we're going to talk about a few of our vocabulary words before we get started. Yesterday, we talked about the word international, and we also talked about magnifying. Today, we're going to first talk about the word folklore. Folklore is a kind of story that has been passed down for many generations. The stories are not true, but many people have heard them. Nate goes to the library to read about the trolls, but most of it is folklore. Other examples of folklore are stories about animals that talk or have magical powers. Folklore are stories that many people have heard but are not true. The next word is smorgasbord. A smorgasbord is a noun that means a large buffet. A buffet is when there is lots of food put out to eat. There are large serving plates set out for a variety of food, and people bring their plates up and help themselves to the different dishes of food. Rosamond was eating at different smorgasbords during her trip. A smorgasbord is a large buffet. Now, before we dive into our story, I want to show you a map. Remember, a map is a small picture that shows the representation of where places are. If you can remember, we live in the United States. It's colored green on this map. And if you notice, right here, in this tiny section is where Georgia is. This says this section in blue is the Atlantic Ocean. So across the Atlantic Ocean, we will find Sweden, where Rosamond has been visiting. If you notice, that is a long way across to Sweden. Definitely an international case for Nate the Great. Let's read today's story. Rosamond had written that what she lost looked smart like me and had a very long nose. I was getting a clue that I did not like. Rosamond had lost a troll. I, Nate the Great, do not look, think, or act like a troll. Actually, I did not know what trolls thought or acted like, but I was pretty sure that they were not detectives. Pause here and read this page to yourself. They did not eat pancakes or have a dog named Sludge. I needed more clues. We must go to the library, I said to Sludge. Sludge had to wait outside. I looked up trolls. There was a lot to read. Pause here, friends. Most of it was folklore. I read that trolls live in the mountains and caves and under bridges in Norway, in dark places just like Rosamond had written. They love to eat all kinds of berries. They have dark hair and they never cut it. Pause here. I left the library. Sludge and I walked home. I had been right about one thing. Trolls do not eat pancakes. But I, Nate the Great, do. At home, I made pancakes. I gave Sludge a bone. Pause. He ate part of it, then he took the rest in his mouth and went to the door. I let him out. He walked around the yard. I knew what he was doing. He was looking for a special place to bury the rest of his bone. I ate my pancakes and thought about the case. I knew that Rosamond had lost a tiny troll. Did she lose it in the palace? I needed to know more. I got Sludge. Pause again. Come, I said. We must go to Esmeralda's house. Esmeralda always knows things. Esmeralda was in her yard reading a book. Esmeralda, I said, I am on a case. Do you know why someone would take a troll to a palace? Esmeralda didn't blink an eye. She said, Is the someone Rosamond? Yes, I said, I am looking for clues about her trip. Well, I know she was going hiking in Norway and then shopping for presents. Then she was going to Sweden. Pause again. She wanted to see a palace there. In that order? Yes, she was saving the palace for the last part of her trip. Anything else? Along the way, she was going to go to smorgasbords with her cats. Pause here. Have you heard from her? Yes, she sent me her picture taken in the palace. She's holding something with long, dark hair. Aha! Trolls have long, dark hair. Here's the picture, Esmeralda said. Pause again. I'm using it for a bookmark. I looked at the picture. There was Rosamond in the palace, and she was holding something with long, dark hair. Lots of long, dark hair. My case was solved. Rosamond had lost the troll in the palace. She had written to me after she had been in the palace. She had the troll there, and then she didn't have it anymore. Now all she had to do was get that troll back. Pause here. I, Nate the Great, knew that when Rosamond came home, I would have to tell her that she had lost the troll in the palace. I knew that she would write a card to the King of Sweden and ask him to look for the troll and send it back. I knew that Rosamond would write a very strange card. I, Nate the Great, felt sorry for the King of Sweden, but a case is a case. I have solved my case. Pause here. I said to Esmeralda, I never thought that I would solve a case in a palace. I looked at the picture one more time. There was something about it. Now, boys and girls, we're going to stop here for today. I want to give you a few pieces of information about your journal writing. Remember, this week we are writing a summary of the most important events in our story. Yesterday, you wrote the topic sentence and wrote what happened first and next in the story. Now you will add what happens then and last. Tomorrow, you will watch the final section of our book and write a conclusion. You will turn in your 5-sentence paragraph on Friday. I hope you come back to find out what happens to Nate the Great and the King of Sweden. See you tomorrow. Bye.